Welcome to episode 296 of the Psychedelic Coach podcast. Now, I don't know if you've ever felt like you're meant to make a big impact, but maybe the way business is or how you're seeing it or how it's supposed to be done doesn't fit you. Maybe you're already doing the work, doing retreats or coaching or holding space, but you're feeling kind of stuck, a little burnt out, or like you're building a business that you'd have to recover from. Well, if you said yes to any of those, then this episode is for you. Today, I'm taking you behind the scenes of our 2-day Condor Catalyst Intensive. So you've heard me talk about the Condor Approach Live, the 3-day event, but this is an optional add-on of 2 days, and it's not just another workshop. You're not coming to learn, you're coming to do. It's a space to work solely on your business in a way that supports your nervous system, your human design, and your longer-term vision. So today's episode is featuring one of the Catalyst guest speakers, Taylor Davis. She's the founder of Wildly Satisfied. Taylor helps feminine-led entrepreneurs build sustainable business models rooted in pleasure, not pressure. So she's going to dive deep in how your human design impacts your business structure, your offers, and your capacities, and why the old niche down and hustle harder might be the very reason you're not where you want to be. So whether you're a generator stuck behind Zoom calls, a projector trying to keep up with everybody else, or a manifesting generator being told you're too much, listen in. This episode's going to reframe everything. So if you feel like you're ready to build a business, maybe you've thought about coming to the Condor Approach, consider the extra 2 business day add-on, the Condor Catalyst, because who knows, it might just change everything. And for today's episode, I want to give a huge shout out to one of our incredible sponsors, one of my soul sister from another mister and co-creator of Soul CBD, Angie Lee. Sleep should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's made with all natural ingredients, and it really does help you fall asleep faster. I can at least speak for myself. I stay asleep longer, I wake up ready to go, and it's been a huge game changer for me and Ta. So if you want to power down after a long day, or you want a more restful sleep, or maybe you've just been looking for another alternative to try, I gotta tell you, these sleepy gummies have made a huge difference for me. Just like anything else is not a one-size-fits-all, these gummies aren't either, but I will tell you, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. Go check them out. You already know about Ta's history with sleep. I've struggled in the past as well, and for whatever reason, this was a game changer for us. So if you've been looking for a solution, check it out. I don't have an affiliate link. I will put the link to their website in the show notes. I don't get any kickback. I literally am just speaking because they sponsored the event. They gave everyone a bottle of the Sleepy Gummy, and I want to shout them out. So with no further ado, check out today's episode with Taylor, and she's going to break down everything you didn't even know that you wanted to know about how to build a business that is fueled by pleasure, not pressure.
Whether you're a life coach, therapist, biohacker, invested in wellness, or in the healthcare profession, if you have an intention to work in psychedelic spaces, you're in the right place then. If you're called, get involved. But first, get informed. Let's talk the 4 N's: intake, intention, in-space integration, leading to deeper transformations. Psychedelic Coach Podcast, Ta Cole. Walk you through the process, it's all possible. Leave space for the follow through. Most importantly, integration is not optional.
The whole thing about Ta, when he was talking earlier about like trust and faith and things like that, I am both terrified of speaking in front of people and so excited about it. And so I like to be able to move and to let my body know it's safe. And you guys, most of you don't know me. My name is Taylor Davis. I run a brand called Wildly Satisfied. And it's basically how to build a sustainable business that honors you and how you operate. I have been in marketing, copywriting. I have sold from being specifically a copywriter, which is your modality, to I run a media platform for feminine-based business and lifestyle. And that's what I'm doing now. So I was going to start this by saying, when I was in Bali in November of 2024, I had a moment of peace that I had never experienced before. And what came through was, I don't want to live a life I have to recover from. which means the businesses that I'm building, the people that I am working with, the people that I'm around, my home, everything that we have needs to be things that nourish us. Not something that we build and then burn down and then have to recover and then start all over again, over and over and over again. When I actually outlined this talk, I labeled it as your nervous system called, it's done with your business model. And so one of the biggest things that I do is I look at people's human design. That's just one part of this. So human design is a beautiful tool that is basically how you make decisions, how you operate, and how you communicate. So if you're building a business model that is designed for a generator and you are a projector, you're already 20 steps behind and you're already hurting yourself. There's also a lot of things in the business world that human design de-shames you for. I'm a projector in human design, and I know some people don't know what that means. We'll get into it. Most of this talk, by the way, I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes, and then I want to workshop with you guys. If you have questions about offers, if you have questions about business, if you have questions about anything like that, I want you to come up and ask questions because this is all about for you, okay? When we are looking at your business, if you are a feminine-based entrepreneur, which to me is like mostly feminine, little bit of masculine, or if you're a masculine-based entrepreneur, mostly masculine, little bit of feminine. Building a foundation from that is a great place to start because a lot of what we know about business is based on masculine models. And a lot of the feminine doesn't have models now for how we operate. We are literally different people every single month, every single week out of the month. Based on a female body. So when we're building businesses, starting from, okay, are we biologically man-woman? Do we need to know what our nervous system, how our nervous system responds? Do we need to build from there? Masculine and feminine. And then on top of that, I do intuitive strategy. So on top of that is human design. And we look at if you are a projector, if you are a manifester, if you are a generator, if you anything like that, you have an intuitive way of operating that is different. And then even deeper inside of your human design blueprint, there are like things that you're the best at. You can figure out who your ideal clients are and who you're supposed to talk to, what you're meant to do in the world. You can tie it all together to create a sustainable business model. And I want to make sure that I actually go through everything. Your business and the way that I approach business is that it should not be built from a place of survival. Ta once told me the difference between safety and security is that security is in the future and safety is right now. And a lot of the times we're building businesses in a security base, which is a lot of fear and scarcity. How much money do I need to make? What do I need to bring in? Oh my God, what are my numbers? But we're not actually zooming out and going, what do I want to do in this world? How do I want to feel? What kind of business do I want to create from that perspective? So I always have people zoom out and go, what is your turn on vision? What is the thing that you're like, oh my God, I want to feel this? Who here has heard the niche down? You need to niche down in order to, yeah, okay. You need to niche down in order to run your business. Like you need to hyper focus on the one thing, and that one thing is what people are going to understand, and you're going to build a business model from that, and that's what's going to sell. Okay. I actually tell people that going micro without going macro is going to put you more in a position where you're pigeonholed, and then you have to burn it down and start all over later. So when I look at sustainability in business models, in offers, and anything that you're building, it's great is that a lot of people here are like building their business. Welcome, this is amazing, because then you get to start with a foundation that's more sustainable than somebody else's model online. So when you look at your business, starting from your vision of how do I want my life to be? What do I want to feel? Not what do I want to offer? How do I actually want to run my life? Do I want to be in front of a Zoom camera? Do I want to speak on stages? Do I want to facilitate with people? Do I want to be at retreats? Getting all of these ideas of what it feels like and what work really speaks to you. If you're a generator in this room and you are doing 80% of your work on Zoom calls or mental work, most likely you're going crazy right now, or you're going to be soon. Because generators and manifesting generators have a lot of energy. You guys physically need to go do the thing with the person, done with you, done for you. There has to be a physical aspect, or you got to have a lot of exercise in your life, because you guys have so many motors and so much energy that you need to actually get out. But if you're building a business model that goes against how your energy works, it's just not going to work out. I was a projector, which means I followed the coaching model, where someone got access to me every single week right? Zoom calls once a week. You get them in this 3-month container or this year-long container or something like that. And as a projector, it sounded great because I got to be more mental than I was physical. But then I realized I didn't need to be with people every single week. I could just meet with them once, have a good VIP day, and then off they go. And so it's really being able to work with whatever your design type is, whatever channels that you have, and gates and gifts and superpowers, and we can get into that more in a second. But when you look at where you're building your business from, I would say go macro first. So looking at your vision and looking at yourself as a body of work. Todd mentioned this earlier, like you are your business. I always tell people, because the whole thing about it's how you make decisions. So are you making decisions in alignment with your human design? You're a generator, it's to respond, and your decision making, it could be emotional, it could be sacral, it could be, there's a lot of different areas there. Same thing with projectors. So are you making decisions that are aligned with who you are and what you want versus some guru or person telling you how you should do things? It's all about how you operate. And for the operation side of things, it's how do you operate in a way that you can actually show up sustainably in your business? If it's not pleasurable, it's not sustainable. If you are fighting to create a business because someone else told you you needed to charge something or be something, and you're like, that doesn't feel right, your body is already telling you it's not going to work out. So I like for people to look at, with using human design, because it's just an amazing tool, to look at what your type is, what your profile numbers are. So for the people who don't know human design, when you take the test, and I have most of your guys' designs, there's a lot of generators in here and a couple projectors, one manifester. There's always one manifester, at least. Is that you? Oh, it's you. No? Oh, you're a manifesting generator. Yeah. There's always one. How you operate is very different. It's how you approach marketing too. For example, manifestors, you need to sell people into the vision and initiate people into what's next. If you're trying to get people into this really micro offer and like they don't understand the bigger vision, it's not going to sell as easy. We were working against how we operate when you just know that as a projector, I am actually not meant to sell the way that generators are. That whole just do it thing, that's not a projector thing. That's a generator thing. Generators are just do it. They're like, go out, do it, hustle. A lot of the hustle mentality comes from generators. Whether or not that's healthy or not is a whole different conversation. But as a projector, even the way I operate is different, which means my business model had to shift in order to be able to do that. So my big thing is I have to wait for the invitation. That's my strategy. So I am up here. I was invited to come and speak, which because someone saw me and they were like, oh my God, she's amazing at what she does and what she talks about and all the things. Can you come and speak? That was a full invitation for me. And then other people will see me and then they will invite me in to work with them, to look at their business, things like that. So that is for me as a projector. Anybody else that's a projector, you also have that as well. Yeah, raise your hands, projectors. Come on. Woo-hoo. Yes, amazing. So the whole like go out and cold pitch as a projector, it's a very dangerous strategy. Don't do that. Please don't. If you guys have like profile lines, like I'm a 4/6 splenic projector. The 4, anyone who has a 4 profile line, you better get familiar with people fast. You better make it so you know your people, because we are the networkers, we are the connectors, but people have to feel close to you. If you're on social media, you actually don't need to be on social media half the time if you're a 4, but if you're gonna do social media as a 4 line, you just got to make it sound like they're your best friend, and they are. You got to have that depth of that relationship. And the reason why I'm showing this is because we all have different profile lines. We all have different types. We have different authorities. We have different gates and channels, which are just superpowers and gifts, as I say it. And if you can utilize them to build a business model that actually feels good for you to step into, it won't be so hard every day to show up. And it'll be more sustainable in the long run. So let me just make sure. That intuitive foundation is a really big thing for me. And then, so the operations part of it and communicating. This is one of the things that I really wanted to dive into. I noticed on the sheets that they gave me with everybody's human design that a lot of people were like, I don't know what my offer is, or I don't even know how to communicate my business, or I'm trying to get clients, right? All of that thing. So if anybody resonates with that, please let me know. I don't know how to communicate my offers. I don't know I know what I do, but I don't know how to communicate it well. I'm trying to figure out all the pieces and how they fit together. Amazing. So for that, how you communicate as a projector versus a manifester versus a mani-gen versus a generator really does change how people receive you. And a lot of the times what I tell people is, instead of niching down, make sure you umbrella up so that you have an overarching body of work in the world that you are communicating. And this is a tool that I use with a lot of my clients. We need to figure out what your body of work is, pull all the pieces together. And from that macro lens, you could go, I'm on this mission, or this is my body of work, which is my entire life. You are your business, but your business doesn't have to be, I'm a therapist. Your business doesn't have to be, I do breath work. It's not anything like that. That is a modality, and we are speaking from our modalities instead of the body of work that we have in the world, which is why we burn our businesses down every 3 years and we start all over again, is because someone told us to niche down and to focus on this modality because it was more understandable and people could take it in. People are smarter than we give them credit for, but we have to know what we're doing on a bigger level, our body of work level, and then we can niche down your offers. So you take the niching down advice and you just put it in the right context, and it's your offer. Understanding your body of work, how you tie everything together, and usually I can do that with somebody in 15 minutes. We can workshop it a little bit if you'd like in the time that I have left, and if I'm here for the next couple of days. And then from that, you're able to create offers that are specific to the people, and you can really speak to what they want and what they can experience. For example, Ta, I would not say that he's a nurse, because that's not what he's doing anymore. I wouldn't say he's a coach. I would say that he completely reframes how you look at trauma and how to navigate emotions in a more healthy way. That's his body of work in the world. There's more to that, obviously, way more nuance. And how he does that is through all of these different modalities that he has learned. And how he does that is through this offer, the Condor approach, emotional. There's all these different things that connect into it. And once you see how everything connects, then you can go into the micro and go, oh my God, yeah, I'm excited about this offer. I want to do this. And I can build this offer from a sustainable perspective because I'm a projector, because I'm a generator. There's a lot of generators, like I said, that were told to sit behind Zoom calls or anything like that, and they're like, I am antsy and I have anxiety and I need to move. And it's because most likely a retreat is better for you because you're doing it with them. You could be going and organizing somebody's home because you physically need to do it with them or do it for them. And generators really, mani-gens and generators thrive. And there's just so many different business models and advice that shame us in how we operate. Mani-gens, manifesting generators in the room, raise your hand. Manifesting generators. Anybody? Do you know what your type is?
I think you said manifestors.
We'll figure out what your type is. If you're a manifesting generator, who here has been told they are chaotic or crazy or they just need to be consistent and calm down? Yeah, somewhere to that effect. No, you don't. Consistency for manifesting generators and telling them to be consistent is a lot of shame comes up. So when you communicate, it's not only how are you communicating what I do and what I bring to this world, but how are you communicating with people of other types? If you're a generator and you're telling your clients to just do it, and you're talking to a projector, you're creating more shame in the body without realizing it. So whenever I talk to people about building sustainable business models, I always get their human design. Now, obviously, I know not everybody uses human design. It's flexible. But just knowing that you might be attracting certain people based on your human design, I can usually tell you who you're attracting, what profile aligns, and being able to speak to them in a way that really resonates. I will never tell a projector the same advice that I will tell a manifesting generator. I will never tell a manifesting generator that they need to be consistent. You guys need variety in order to create consistency. And a generator, you can be consistent every day as long as you're turned on by it. That's a big thing because of the sacral energy that you have access to, right? Projectors, you guys need, we need three things: rest, play, and research. And that is what work better feel like. And if we're being told what to do by a generator, we are immediately going to be like, no, not happening. Projectors are actually meant to guide generators and manifesting generators. It's the other way around. And the world that we know it very much is built by generators and manifesting generators. And that shift is what we're seeing right now. A lot of the old systems are falling away, old constructs that don't work anymore. It's because it was a generator world, and now it's becoming more individualized to speak to not only the collective, but the individual as well. So customizing your business model, your offers in a way that's sustainable for you is going to be incredibly powerful in the coming years, just like personal branding is going to be incredibly powerful in the coming years. Knowing how to communicate what you do in a way that just lands is going to be very, very powerful in the coming years, especially with the rise of AI, which, by the way, I'm a projector. I love AI. Finally, I can have something keep up with me. It's like, ooh. Also, the one last thing that I want to say is that, so your nervous system, we all do a lot of nervous system work in here. That's why we're here, part of it at least. If your nervous system is already rallying against your business, you're already losing. If your nervous system is, I don't feel safe, this doesn't feel free. If you're building it based on security, you're already building a business that's, I can't function inside of this, no matter how much your mind tries to tell you otherwise. And we all know our mind likes to just roll with things and try to convince us of things. But your business and your body knows because it's going to tell you. It's the all-intelligent vehicle. It's going to tell you when you're out of alignment. It's going to tell you when something's not right for you. And the more you can listen to your authority in human design, the more you can listen to what your body is telling you, the more likely you're going to build a sustainable business model. When I was in Bali and I got by the way, Bali is a projector paradise. When I got the download of, I don't want to live a life I have to recover from, I was already moving towards sustainability, but I really wasn't listening to my body going, we cannot do this anymore. We cannot operate this way anymore. And part of it was me seeing myself. Projectors really need to be able to see ourselves. Generators, being able to follow as a manifesting generator what you want to pivot with, what feels freaking fun, and being able to have a little bit of that variety in order to create that consistency is really powerful. You're meant to pivot and change your mind. Manifestors, I know there's only one in the room, so I guess I'm talking directly to the manifester, but for you, it's really that vision, it's that mission, it's that thing that you are changing the world. If you're trying to sell through your modality, you're going to be playing small. Manifestors are supposed to initiate a vision in the world, and then the generators and mani-gens will build it. Projectors will help guide a little bit. I was very beautifully reminded of last September, I think, when I spoke. The way that the human design types work together and how we can honor one another is that the manifestors are like the waterfall. You guys are downloading a lot of the information, big visions, big shifts in the world. And then the generators are the river, taking the water, moving it forward, taking the ideas, moving it forward. Projectors are the riverbank. We are guiding the energy because otherwise it's just going to go all over the place. And we're going to be wasting a lot of time and energy on things we don't need to build, which is why so many systems we have don't work anymore. And then there's the manifesting generators. You guys are like where the waterfall meets the river, the spray, and it's so pretty and beautiful. And we're like, yes, that's amazing. That's you guys, because it just makes things beautiful in the world. Thank you. And then reflectors, which there are no reflectors in this room. They're very rare, but reflectors are like the reflection of sunlight. They're like, yep, this is beautiful. Everything is working amazing, fantastic. We can all work together and we can all honor how we operate differently. And even I've built teams based on human design because we operate differently. I will not hire a projector to do things for me. Trust me, we're not doers, we're guiders, generators. You guys can do the thing. You guys have consistent access to sacral energy. And so really being able to build that intuitive foundation can help solidify your foundation for sustainability. Because if you're building on other people's strategies and other people's ways of life, and especially if it's not pleasurable, it's just going to break. It's going to fall apart. It's like building on sand and being like, oh, I don't know why everything's falling apart. You didn't build on concrete and then wood and then on top more. So with this, the offers and the umbrellas that you guys have and the communicating your offers, if you guys would like anything that's come up, first of all, please ask questions. Let's dive into it. But if you're like, how do I put everything together? I am happy I'll be here the whole day. I'm happy to come back. Come and talk to me. And this is, by the way, you're watching in real time what a projector can do in order to invite more invitations. You see me and what I'm talking about? Please come and ask me questions. I would love the invitation because I'm not going to come up to you and be like, you should do this. Projectors, stop doing that. I know we see things and we want people to do things, but we didn't get invited, and you can feel the resistance. So learning how to really operate with how you operate and honor it de-shames and creates a lot more pleasure and sustainability in your business because we don't have time for burnout anymore. That's it. Questions? Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just realized there are people behind me. Mike? Yeah,
I'm not familiar with human design.
that's okay.
Brooke made me take it.
Okay.
I think she suggested I should retake it.
Mm-hmm.
With that information, once we have it made sure which category I fit in,
Yeah.
I could talk to you and you could say you should be focusing this direction.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I know you mentioned earlier about when you're talking to Ta, when you're talking about how you're like, I haven't started my business, and I like, obviously bringing all the ideas together. I don't necessarily need your human design for that. I can do that literally probably right now. But with your foundation and your strategy of like how to go about things and how to operate and how to solidify like the structure, human design is so helpful for that. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be at?
That's a good question. Is there another room or anything in the house? I can do that. Yeah, just set me up wherever you guys, and I'll go there. But,
How long does it take to take the test?
5 seconds. Oh, you got it?
How do you know it?
The form.
Yeah. Okay.
1-3 sacral.
1-3 sacral manifesting generator. Okay. What is your question? What is your focus in your business right now? What are you trying to figure out?
There's more than one, but I would say to collect how to get the clients to know, okay, we're here, I'm here, and this is what I
This is what
could do with you.
What do
What's that?
What do you do? What's your focus? What's your body of
Oh, to work with people that have done plant medicine work and totally got into it without being prepared, and which is what I found a lot of people that get in plant medicine just jump in there, oh, this is going to help me, and then they come out of it like, wow, I don't know what to do now. So to work with that type of person to basically integrate them back.
Okay. Why do you do that? Why is it important to you?
I've done many plant medicine, and I've seen these people that jump in there and jump out basically and not know what to do with it. Why do I want to do that? It's because they've seen something, they experienced something that's beyond what the base society knows anything about. And I think we're moving into that direction, that highly spiritual stuff that's beyond our normal experience. And the more people that share it and express what they've seen or experienced will move the rest of civilization toward that direction.
Ooh, I sense a bigger mission in there and a much bigger umbrella than I help integrate psychedelic journeys. So I would like to talk to you later and help figure out what that umbrella is. Without looking directly into your chart, right off the bat, what I see as a 1-3 sacral manifesting generator, correct? That's what dice. Was it a sacral manifesting generator? Manifesting generator. 1-3. Okay. As a 1 profile line, that's an investigator. So you're going to have all the details, and that's going to appeal to the people that you need to speak to. And then as a 3, you're an experimenter. I don't use the word martyr because it's very negative, and there's a lot of words for human design that just don't feel good in my body. So 1, you're an investigator. 3, you're an experimenter. Thank you so much, because I don't want to have to experiment. I'm a 4-6. I already did that in my first 30 years of my life. So as a 3, thank you for being the experimenter. Those two things together, I have the information and I've experimented with it. I've done the work, I know the details, I have the case studies because I've worked with people, and I've experimented with the people that I'm like working with, right? That makes you uniquely positioned to be able to guide people on it. And when you're speaking from that place as a manifesting generator, most likely your business model is going to be a done with you, done for you experience that pull those things in. Does that make sense? So the details of being an investigator, you might have to go in and do all the details, and you're like, why am I going so deep down this rabbit hole? You're supposed to. And then you're supposed to give that information in a way that really makes sense to people. And then as a 3, you've experimented. Because of that, you have more, I don't want to say like more authority, but you have more experience with it. So it's more likely for me to trust you because you have experimented with it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because I feel that I do have an issue with the word coach. But it's for a different reason than what they were talking about. It's not the word; it's the person. I believe that coach is the one that has the experience to come to the person and say. But as I'm thinking about it right now, maybe you don't have to have that experience. Maybe you just have to have that knowledge and just tell that person.
What comes up as you're saying that is don't get, okay, everybody here, I'm going to give you just permission. Please don't get stuck in one model. There's the podcasting model. There's entirely different industries. Projectors are creating their own business model right now. There are different ways. I'm an intuitive business strategist. That's what I call myself. Like generators and manifesting generators are a little bit, I would say, more likely to be coaches because when I think of coaches, I think of the people like in the game with you, the trainers, the coaches, the people on the, when I think about a sport, the coach is on the field with the person doing it with them. And because you're a generator or a manifesting generator, you're doing it with them. Your business and your model is going to look a little bit different than mine as a projector. I'm more like, come to me as a guidance counselor and then go do it. And then come back and then go do it. Like that type of thing. If I'm actually in it with the person too much, they're like, tell me what to do. And then their own sovereignty like goes away because they're deferring to me. And I'm like, no. You know what to do. That's why I talk about your authority sometimes in human design. But for you, finding the word that really does resonate with you is going to be very important, everybody here, because if you don't like the word coach, don't be a coach. Don't call yourself that. I was like consultant. I was a copywriter, and then I was a consultant, and then I was a business strategist. And then now it's like I'm a media company owner and speaker, author, writer. Like we change with the words that we have. But you are like uniquely positioned and we can figure out what that looks like. I can look more deep into your chart because there are channels and gates in your chart, which I just call channels are your superpowers, gates are your gifts, and they're just little flavors that add to who you are. For example, in your chart, you might have this gate that's all about starting, but you don't have the rest of it, which is about finishing. Stop shaming yourself for not finishing things. Just give it to someone who knows how to finish it. There's little nuances, and that's where we can look at how do we build a business model or an offer or anything like that that just is more aligned with who you are.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Think about questions. I'm down for this.
Thanks.
Also, I don't know what time it is, so they'll have to. Oh, amazing. Okay. I'm so excited we can workshop. So there better be more questions because I will pull that whiteboard out and we will dive into people's businesses. I'm not kidding. Yeah. I did it with Ariel on lunch last, September? Like 15 minutes. I was like, here's your client journey. Here's your umbrella. Here's what you need to talk about. Here's how you talk about yourself. So I freaking love it. Let's go.
So as a generator, I've been told that I need to find a projector.
Hello.
Explain that to me.
Okay.
Because in another group where they are just looking into human design, they're like, no, you don't want a projector. You want a generator. And I'm like,
no.
So I'm asking.
Okay, so projectors are meant to guide generator energy. And what that means is that while we don't know what it's like to be a generator, and I do experiments with this with my friends all the time, I'm like, what does it feel like to have sacral energy? Because I don't have sacral energy. I feed off of yours when I'm around you, which is what's happening right now. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have so much energy in my body right now. It's not even funny. And so as a projector, we were brought into existence to guide generator energy. You guys like ran the world forever. We didn't come in until 1781. I think that was the year. Basically, industrial revolution and everything started happening. Things were being created. Technology was taking off in a different way. There's all this energy that you guys are like, we're going to build this and build this and build this and build this and build this. And then we came in and we're like, that's not really efficient. I don't think that system really serves everybody. Wait a minute. Why does the school system look this way? Wait a minute, the food doesn't talk to different type of digestion systems. That's projectors coming in and going, wait a minute, this energy that you have is beautiful, amazing. Thank you so much because we do not make the world go round. Generators do. You guys are a very big part of the population, generators and manifesting generators. Literally nothing would get done if you guys didn't exist. The rest of us just want to sit here and be like, just do this. You guys do things. So as a projector, we can see very deeply into the people that we're in front of. Literally, our aura is a penetrating aura. So you can't bullshit a projector. You can't hide. anything out of integrity is going to start to float away, and like you'll be faced with some really, really rough mirrors sometimes. But a projector will go one-on-one with someone, and it's literally our aura is reaching out, going directly into you and going, oh, I see you. I see you deeper than anybody has probably ever seen you. Here's what you need to do. But you have to invite us in to be able to do it. Here's how we guide and direct your energy. So that's the generator / Mani-Gen projector relationship. It's not because you don't know. It's not because of anything. It's just because you have so much energy, and it's like, where do I focus?
I have a tendency, and I've got so many projects and workshops, and then I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, that's a
And
projector.
so they sit in a closet or in a drawer in my hard drive, and so I need a good projector.
You need a good projector. And I would say, I would probably have to know more. Would you know what your profile lines are? Like 1, 4?
6'2".
Oh, okay.
Emotional, 6'2".
6'2". Okay. There's going to be like an emotional richness that you bringing in your emotional wave. If you have an emotional authority to everybody here, that means that your decisions come from riding whatever wave that you are connected to. So don't make decisions from high highs or
learning
low
that one.
lows. You ride the wave, and then you level out. And when you have clarity, that can happen in an hour. It can happen in 24 hours. I tell people on like chemistry calls and stuff, I go, you're an emotional, you're not allowed to buy from me for at least 24 hours. If they buy from me like on that moment, when they're like, oh my God, yes, I'm gonna be like, I'm refunding you, and you're gonna wait. Because that's how you have impulse buys that people will then get like regret, and they're like, oh, I shouldn't have signed up for this. I also do a lot with like sales processes and like for your nervous system. I have a whole thing about human design.
But now there's
for
a
that.
difference between an intuitive yes and an emotional yes.
Yeah, so when language, right? Intuitive can mean something different to you than to me. So what do you mean by
So
intuitive?
there are times when I just know.
Do you have your spleen defined?
I don't know.
I'd have to look at your chart.
Okay.
So the spleen is an awareness center. Ooh. Okay, good. So the spleen is an awareness center. There's like flavors. I always talk about human design as potency. It's like layers, right? So you're an emotional generator, right? The emotional generator and how it works, that's how you make the decision. That's how the decision comes in. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have a knowing because your spleen is defined. I'm a splenic projector. So how I make decisions is I know. My intuition is go to condor approach. It's very not, you need to go to condor approach. That's different. That's the fear side of the spleen.
Right.
But when I am clear and my knowing comes in from being a splenic authority, because my spleen is defined, I make decisions based on my instant knowing. And it rarely comes back around again. So I better follow it. That being said, you don't make decisions that way. As an emotional authority, knowing how to work with the wave that you have, because there are different waves, you're an emotional authority, but you always need to come to a place of like middle ground. And then you might have your spleen defined, which is like a backup dancer. It's like a backup decision maker. If you're in the moment and you can't get clarity because a bus is coming to you and you're like, I'm afraid, your spleen's going to come on and be like, you need to move, go. So that's how you can use different motors that you have, different awareness centers, things like that. Channels, you might have gates that contribute to that. You might have different things in your chart, which talks about how you make better decisions. So it's just certain things. For example, I have the Genius to Freak channel, which is like 4323. It's from the ajna to the throat. So there's a part of me that instantly knows certain things, and the Genius to Freak, I download things that I'm like, it's so far ahead, and people either call me a genius or a freak. I'm around the right people if they call me a genius, by the way. And from there, I can use my channel of refinement, of judgment, right, as where I'm refining things. So I instantly know, and also I need to refine. And then I'm a splenic authority. I know this is what I need to talk about. I just know. It's very calm. And at the same time, I also know that I have my root defined. My root isn't my only motor center. It's a shot of espresso. So the nuances inside of your design really can help build that sustainability in your business. I no longer shame myself because I know that I'm going to get an intuitive knowing from my splenic. It's going to turn on my root. My root is going to act like I just drink a quad shot latte and I'm just going and I'm high on it. I'm going to create the thing and then I'm going to crash. And instead of shaming myself for the crash, I just give it to my team. So when you look at your design and you look at how you make decisions based on your authority, when you look at what you have that is defined versus undefined, and defined just means consistent access to, it's colored in on your chart. Undefined is like it's white. that means you just know what to work with in terms of energy. There's also a lot of way more nuance in there, but
So the projector then can take these ideas of mine that I've created and don't know what to do with,
yeah.
and guide them. I still generate it. I still
Yeah, you're
make
still gonna
it
create
happen,
it.
but I just need somebody to give me a
Direction.
roadmap. Yeah.
Yeah. Projectors are great at frameworks, systems, direction, the fastest way to where you want to go. That's
Any projectors out there that
yeah.
Are you a projector?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Are you a
way.
projector? Oh, welcome. Okay. Yeah. So projector, it's just, but you have to have the right and a healthy projector. Please let me
Oh, well.
just nuance this.
Yeah.
Projectors that are unhealthy, just like unhealthy generators, we all have a healthy and unhealthy side, right? If projectors are really conditioned and we have been hustling and all these things, and then we come to you and we're like, yeah, we're going to do this thing with you, we're probably not very healthy, and we need to get more into our healthy energy. And then from there, we're able to guide you appropriately. Not tell you that we know more than you or anything like that. If projectors see things so far beyond what everybody sees, and we can simplify things in such a beautiful way. But if a generator is not inviting us in, and we can feel it, you'll feel it, they'll be like, ooh, it's like that energy, it pushes you back. We don't have the invitation, and even though you're like, no, please guide me, but you're not listening, we cannot be fully recognized and we can't guide you. So you need to be with a healthy projector in the realm that you need to be in. Don't expect them to implement anything. Projectors are a little bit less in terms of implementing. We can do some, but not consistently. So healthy projector, someone that aligns, who can see you and recognize you. Our beautiful gift is the ability to recognize people, but only when you're ready, and just know that we don't hold back. So if you invite us in, we're gonna be like, you need to do this, here's this, here's this, here's this. And you're doing this, which is messing up your branding and your positioning, but we need to fix this, and we're all good. And then you're like, I don't know what just happened to me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
First, I think it's working. Oh, there we go.
You can take it out if you need to.
Yeah.
You're a very tall man.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for all this. This is, I feel like everything you've said about projectors and my wife as a generator, it's like you just tapped into all of our fights, all of our,
Yep. I actually work a lot with partners too.
all
and
of
I'm
our
like,
synergy, everything.
no, I loved it. I could tell something was landing. I was like, they get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's always trying to give me advice. I'm like, no, that's not it. Don't talk. Like, don't. I've already thought 1,000 things ahead of you, and no, what you're saying right now will blow up.
Yeah.
I guess the space where I'm at with this, and I'd love to sit down and talk, schedule a time, whatever it is, but
Yes.
and when you also, I can't remember the exact words, but when you said it, it resonated with the fact that I ran a very big, successful real estate company. I literally imploded it all a couple weeks ago because I'm like, I'm done.
Burnt out?
And very burnt out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people asking when I didn't want to give.
Yeah.
And so it felt good to just blow it all up. But now here I am in space, and I've really resonated with this family and the work that goes on, and I was called in to do a men's group, and I feel real energized about it, but I'm at a space where I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? I need to eventually do something to start generating income again. And it's a hard place for me to be, not knowing what it is, because I get tons and tons of suggestions, and I'm like, no, or it's the creation of it. And so it would be great to maybe, I don't know if right now it's the space to do it, but later, where would you recommend a projector to start? As in, I feel like I'm trying to lead my ship when I also don't want to lead it by myself.
Yeah. So projectors, first of all, let me just recognize you for a second. And one thing that you said that really stuck out, it was, what do I need to do? It's the doing, that doing energy. Projectors aren't meant to do. And deconditioning from that is going to be incredibly powerful for every projector in this room. Now, I'm going, and you can tell me, but like, if if you have a masculine core, and this is what you identify with, if you're like, I'm pretty like masculine in terms of my energy, that doing energy is going to be there, of course, because you want to be able to do that.
Have more of a feminine energy.
Yeah, and sometimes projectors do feel that way as well, because it's, oh my God, no, I want to lean back. With projectors, and this will be really helpful for you, this goes to the communication thing of communicating between types as well. Instead of going, what are you going to do with that, especially if you bring it up to him, be like, what do you see? What do you see? And for projectors, for us, it's rest, play, research. Your work needs to feel like play. Whatever you are fascinated by as a projector, this is what you need to start with.
I read instruction manuals for fun.
Yes, I read medical journals for fun. Yes. So, do you know what your profile lines are? It's the like 1, 4, 3, 5. Oh, okay, mental projector. By the way, there's 3 subtypes of projectors. It's mental, self-projected, and then there's energy projectors, which we don't even have that much energy, but more than other projector types. So for mental, and for, you said 3, 5. So this goes to where your profile lines can add potency. What I was talking about with you earlier is you're meant to go experiment with things as a 3. As a 3 line, you go and experiment. And I'm guessing you're over, are you over 30? I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 43, 42. I can't remember.
The reason I ask is because something happens around age 30. We all go through our like Saturn return, and it shifts and burns things down. And we're like, oh my God, we just got rid of everything we did in our 20s. What's happening? It's our Saturn return. And different things in your chart turn on after 30. So you're a 3 line experimenter. So what are you having fun experimenting with? Okay? Go make sure you rest a lot. Make sure if you're around sacral energy, you actually cleanse yourself from that sacral energy. Based on what you said of its most recent, you just burned it down, right? Most likely you're deconditioning right now from a lot of things and a lot of business models that didn't match you. So give yourself some time to breathe and to understand yourself and how you operate. Because if you go into another business model that is a generator-based business model or mani-gen or whatever it is, and we have a lot of that, it's going to burn you out again. You're getting this cycle. So where to start is start deconditioning and going, actually, and human design is a great way to start with that. It's, how do I operate? How can I de-shame myself from what I've been told I'm doing wrong? And we can look at your human design to see what that looks like. As a 5 line, 1, 3? Oh, okay, 1, 3, not 3, 5. Oh, okay. So 1, 3. You're still a 3 experimenter. The 1 is the investigator. So you going and reading instruction manuals for fun, yeah, you're reading and you're investigating, you're getting all the details. So most likely that will contribute in some way. We can actually look at your human design charts, and I can tell you, like I said earlier, your ideal client, the message that you're meant to bring into the world. There's a lot of nuance there. But for projectors that are really just starting, come from a place of deconditioning. Know that you do not have to do. And a part of your nervous system might be like, but then what do I do if I'm not implementing? You're guiding. You're meant to guide people.
It's a very uncomfortable space right now because I start businesses, create them, do them, and I never sell them. I blow them up because I'm done with it. And they're always a good ride when I'm there. And so I feel like that's like a space where I'm working through because I'm so anxious to know what's next. But I've understood this of the invitation, and I'm like, I'm getting really pissed off and nobody wants to invite me.
I would say for that, you need to be seen in something that fascinates you, and then people will invite you. Okay. Fascination, like following your fascination as a projector is very important. So you need to follow, when you're like excited and giddy, when you're giddy, that energy, you feel it. And you're like, oh my God, I have energy. Like, and I want to talk about these things. That's the excitement. So when you dive into it, you're going to investigate it. You're going to trial it out as a 3 line because you're going to experiment with it. Most likely you're going to create some type of like framework or system so people understand it. And then you need to release the fact that you don't need to work in it anymore. You've completed it. You understand it. Sell it. And at the same time, there might be a part of the conditioning, and I don't know if this resonates or not, of the blowing it up. There's the you need to work hard mentality in our world, right? You always need to be working hard. I actually don't believe in that. I think hard work's not required, the right kind of effort is. So as a projector and what you just described, coming to terms with the fact that it doesn't have to be hard anymore. It's going to be challenging. There will be challenges, but it doesn't have to be hard. And just knowing, actually, I'm not fascinated by this anymore. Cool. How can I like turn this into something that makes me money so I don't have to do it anymore? But it's still there.
Okay.
So slowly just deconditioning and honoring yourself. You operate differently. Did you have a sub question? Yeah.
So I'm a generator, and I'm always like, just tell me, you want to build your business, just tell me what to do, and then I'll do it.
Perfect, yeah.
But right now we're saying, no, Amy, you do your businesses, and this is mine.
Yeah.
And it's actually really frustrating for me because I was like, well, just tell me what to do. Tell
Yeah.
me, what do you want me to work on? I'll
Yeah.
work on it for you, let me
Yeah.
handle it.
Yeah.
I'm really busy over here, but
Well, and what,
I love
yeah, and what I see with partners a lot of the time is that, like, for example, I see a lot of the time they go into business together. They like want to build this thing together, and it's beautiful, but you also need to have your own things. Like Ta has Emotional, right? And yes, there's Condor approach, but there's also his thing there. So it's like having your own things is also really beautiful, but you can still work together. You just need to have those parts in place too. And also, like, frustration is how you know you're out of alignment with something. And for you specifically, as generators and manifesting generators, frustration is how you know you're out of alignment. Satisfaction is how you know you're in alignment. Satisfaction then leads to success. Projectors, for you, for us, success, feeling successful leads to satisfaction. If you need to feel successful in your life, I don't wake up every day and go, oh, how do I want to feel today? Or I want to feel happy today. I go, what's going to make me feel successful today? I feel like I have to accomplish something and it feels good. That might be just going to the gym and that's my accomplishment. You need to feel successful and then you will feel satisfied as a projector. And then with your like frustration, it might be because he needs to be seen in the thing that fascinates him, but he doesn't even know what that is, so he can't give you direction yet. So it's recognizing and being, whenever you're around somebody and because you're going into a new phase of your business, right? Whenever you're around somebody and they say something of what you're really good at and you're like, oh, yeah, like it feels good. That recognition, feed off of that and refine it and be like, it's this. That's what makes me fascinated right now. And then you can go to your generator team, or if you guys want to partner on things and be like, I need help building this. And then you direct the energy. See how that works together? Yeah. And what's funny is that as a generator, your strategy is to respond. You need to wait to respond. So you can't go and initiate him or anything. Actually, manifestors are the only ones who can initiate things into the world. That gentleman back there is the only manifestor that can initiate something into the world. So as a generator, as a manifesting generator, you can facilitate environments that create responses, or you can put yourself in environments that create responses. Right now, I am telling you something, you might be responding something, and you're like, oh my God, I need to go talk to her. I want to ask about this. That's you responding to something. But like with him, for example, if he doesn't know and he's not recognized for what he wants, and you're just like, you're trying to initiate something to get the response so you can do something, that's where frustration starts to come in. So it's wait to respond. But wait to respond doesn't mean sit around and don't do anything. Just wait to be invited as projectors does not mean sit around and don't do anything. Wait to be invited is wait to be recognized, wait to be asked for advice. That is our invitation as a projector. Someone might look at us and be like, you're brilliant about this. That's not an invitation. Just feed off the recognition and be like, thank you, I am. Oh my God, amazing. And then if they invite you in and they're like, can I ask you about this? That's a full invitation. So there's ways to work with your strategy and authority, and it always comes back to strategy and authority in human design. Strategy and authority. Wait to respond. Your authority is sacral or emotional or whatever it is, and that's how you make the decision to see if the decision is right for you. I know this is a lot of information. It's more nuanced when we dive in deeper and get more customized. But does that?
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could keep going, but this was a great stopping point for me.
No problem.
Thanks.
And you're a projector too, so we're always like intellectual. I want to know more. So, cool. Okay. If I don't remember that last part, just let me know. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. So I have two questions. I have one slightly more specific question and then one more overarching question, which maybe we can dive into a little bit more later.
Yeah.
So I'm a 2-4 emotional generator.
Okay.
And so I have questions around like your take on the 2-4 line. So I've read different things that like talk about a little bit of a duality and how they like play together, right? Like I've read about the 2 line being more of like the hermit, like the inward space, and then the 4 line is the opportunist. And so I just am curious about your take on how to play between the 2 places, right?
Yeah.
To like when to kind of like be in balance in those places in the like within the business space, right? Because there can be the point of like overextension.
Yeah. Okay. So for the 2-4, and this is obviously you're a generator. So anyone else is a 2-4 or have 2 lines or 4 lines, it's going to be a little bit more nuanced. This isn't like everybody. This applies to everybody. Okay. So as a 2-4 specifically, the 2 is the natural and the hermit. So you're just very natural at things. You probably do things and people are like, I don't know how you do.
Yeah. My like 50% is other people's 100%. Like it just is a thing.
Lean into that, first of all. But the 2-4 relationship is the 2 needs to go in hermit. It needs to be alone. But in that space, this is where the natural energy comes in, is it's a creative space. It's not, I need to hermit away and hide because things are coming at me or anything like that. It's, I need to go away and I need to hermit because I have something creative that I want to create or that I need to feel. You're an emotional generator. So you might need to hermit to feel the thing, and then you turn that emotion into creative energy. So that's the 2. And then the 4 is then you go out and you connect with people. I don't like the word opportunist. Okay. That's just me. You can call it whatever you want. No. I know that that's a human design term for the 4. It feels very, because I'm a 4 also. I'm a 4/6. When I heard that, I was like, that sounds awful. Like, I'm not an opportunist.
There's a part of it that kind of sounds like like almost
it's
like
manipulative.
Like
yeah.
you go out and you just maneuver your way through for whatever opportunities you can find.
Yeah. So I call it a connector. Okay. You're a natural connector. And you, as a 4 line, we make people feel like they are our best friend. And then we will look at people and be like, I'm going to send you to my friend, and I'm going to connect you with this person. I'm going to connect you with this person. Yes.
So I've referred to myself as like a bridge between places. I'm like, I know this person and I know this person. I know a person that would be great for you for this.
Yes. Yeah. And so how, like, for example, Hannah and Darcy, everybody know who Hannah and Darcy is? They're going to be here the next couple days. They're amazing body workers and everything. I have sent so many people to them because I experienced them and I'm like, you need to go to them. And so as a 4, we are natural connectors. We're supposed to be community builders. We're supposed to bring people together. But you need to have the time as a 2 to go and do your creative stuff and then be like, burst out and be able to do that. And so does that support? Okay. Yeah. And what was your second question?
So the second question is a bit of a larger question of, you spoke in the beginning about like feminine business building. And as a generator, I'm a doer, right? Yeah. And doing is masculine energy. Yes, and so I'm really curious about your take on how to incorporate the 2, right? To be in that like full flow state and to lean into the doing of the 2. Cause again, the overextension and like in the masculine energy is where I've lived a lot of my life up until now. And there's a space of freedom that I'm starting to find we'll see, like whatever happens. And I'm just like, I'm going with the flow. What is the kind of your take on the balance of being in between the 2 places? Cause there's still things to get done, right? When you're doing business and life.
I'm going to go into that, but I want to invite anybody. So there's a QR code right here. There's a free quiz and it's technically for feminine entrepreneurs. If any men would like to take it, please do. And then just tell me what you get, because I think it'd be great. What you're describing to me, I call it the flow struck feminine. It's basically, we're in this space where we were in hustle for a while, and it's the second quiz result. We were in hustle, the reluctant hustler for a while, and then we're like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to flow, because your feminine energy is really trying to just be seen for the first time and be honored. But then we can go into a flow focused state. And the flow focused state is where you get to honor your masculine and your feminine energy. So when I say feminine business, I don't mean goodbye masculine. When I look at individuals and I'm like, you're a feminine core individual, I do 80-20, 80% feminine, 20% masculine. If you're masculine, it's 80% masculine, 20% feminine. One of the core things that I always say to people is the feminine sets the standard, the masculine leads from it, regardless of 80-20, whichever realm you fall in. Your feminine is setting the standard in your life. Your emotions, your intuition is setting the standard in your life, whether you want to believe it or not. So when you look at feminine business, looking at it and going, wow, my feminine gets to set the standard in this, and then my masculine can actually move from it. Because when the masculine sets the standard, it's safety, security. What do we need to do in order to build that safety? What are the numbers? What's the goals that we need to hit? But when you start with the feminine, you start with a freedom-based perspective. You go, how do I want to live my life? What do I want it to feel like? And you start with the vision. I call it a turn-on vision. And then you get into goals, and your masculine, oh, thank you for letting me set goals. But you have to start with the vision first. This is the same thing when people are teaching you business and they're like, niche down. That's the masculine. The masculine is very niche-y. But you need to go overarching with your body of work, and then you go into the masculine of the niching. So that's how they play together. But with your feminine energy, sometimes we go all the way into the flow struck feminine, like we swing the pendulum all the way, because it's like we haven't been seen in how we operate. And especially like female body wise, I operate differently because of my menstrual cycle, because of things like that, which means my business better honor that I am a different person almost every week of the month. And so being able to play with that, when you're looking at your business, start with the turn on vision that should pull you forward. And by the way, everybody can do this, not just women, and not just that type, not just the feminine. Start with the vision that's going to pull you forward. And then you focus on the intuitive strategy, and that's where human design can help build that. That's where you build the foundation. And then from that foundation, then you build your offer ecosystem, which will build the sustainability. But it's really like you're going to have the doing energy. You're a generator, and that's amazing. But can you do it from a place where your feminine is honored first? The feminine sets the standard, the masculine leads from it. A lot of generators and many gens that I see is that like the generators, they've been so much in the masculine, right? The doing, and the hustle mentality, which people go, you're a generator, you're supposed to hustle. No, you just have the energy to be able to do it. And so if you switch it and go, okay, I'm going to look at it from the feminine, and then the masculine can do because it's honored and it knows where the energy needs to go. So that's part of it.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm Taylor Davis. I run a brand called Wildly Satisfied, and this was absolutely wonderful. I loved this. Please, if you guys have any questions, anything, come up to me. I'll come back the next couple of days. We can dive into business stuff, but please go enjoy lunch. And yeah, this is so fun. Thank you.
Whether you're a life coach, therapist, biohacker, invested in wellness, or in the healthcare profession, if you have an intention to work in psychedelic spaces, you're in the right place then. If you're called, get involved. But first, get informed. Let's talk the 4 N's: intake, intention, in-space integration, leading to deeper transformations. Psychedelic Coach Podcast, Todd Cole. Walk you through the process, it's all possible. Leave space for the follow through. Most importantly, integration is not optional.